Hello, friends. Perfect. I'm Emma, and welcome to another Vinyasa flow. I'm really excited about this one today. If you didn't see by the title, it's called Happy Hips. We're going to be getting really into the hips, both inner outer hips today, a little bit into the hamstrings and quads too. I wanted to make this specific sequence because fitness is kind of limited right now. So I've been doing a lot of running, and that has been taking a little bit of toll on my hips, knees, and quads. So just having the opportunity to stretch all of those muscles out and give them a little bit of extra love, I think is exactly what we need right now. So I'll give you a minute to get everything together. You'll just need a mat if you want blocks. You can use them today, but we don't need them for anything in particular. Just like if you like to use them in half splits or anything, they're a good tool. And we're going to get started on our backs today. So if you want to go ahead and come into like a Supta Baddha Konasana for the next few moments, just to gently open up through the hips. This is another place for blocks too, if you want them underneath your knees for that extra support. And just to start out, you can rest one hand to your heart and the other to your belly. And just stay here in this gentle stretch for a few breaths before we officially get started. Feel gravity gently draw your knees down towards the mat or towards your blocks. Let your muscles start to relax. Unclench your jaw. Unfurrow your brow. Let your back body melt into the mat. And let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths. So take a big breath in through your nose, fill all the way up to the top. Big open mouth exhale. Sigh it out. 2 more like that. Big breath in through your nose. Fill up. Big cleansing open mouth exhale. Last one, big breath in. Bigger breath out. Now this time on your inhale, seal your lips. And exhale back out through your nose. Slight constriction in the back of your throat. Start to build heat from the inside out. And let this breath guide your movement as we flow today. We have a really fun flow. Then as you're ready, take your hands to the outsides of your knees and place the soles of your feet on your mat with your knees pointing straight up. We'll start with a supine figure 4, which is one of my absolute favorite stretches. So cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. A great option is to stay right here, gently pressing into your inner right thigh, opening up through your hip without putting any pressure on your knee. Second option is to dive your hands underneath your left knee and draw your knees in towards your chest. Feel a little bit of extra juice. And since it's early on in the practice, we'll stay here for several breaths. Just really getting into that right hip crease. And I know it sounds a little kooky, but you can send your breath there. I promise that sending your breath to the places that need it the most really do help to open up. Keep your toes nice and flexed. And for these last few breaths, if you want an extra hamstring stretch, you can extend your left leg up towards the ceiling. Once again, keeping that flex through your left toes. Last full round of breath here. And release. Gently uncross your legs and switch them out. So left ankle will come on top of your right thigh. Once again, you can stay here gently using the pressure of your palm into your left inner thigh to draw your knee outwards, or diving your hands underneath your right knee for that little bit of extra juice. Whew, I can already tell that this side is tighter. And just take note of which side is tighter for you. It might be your right, it might be your left. If you're very fortunate, both sides might be even. Flex both sets of toes. Keep your lower back rooted down into the mat. Stay here, or for these last few breaths, right heel up towards the ceiling for that extra hamstring stretch. Keeping that flex through your right toes. Take one more full round of breath here. And release. Place the soles of your feet on your mat. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. Take circles in one direction with your knees. And then switch the direction of your circles. From here, grab for underneath your knees and take a few rocks up and down the length of your spine. To gain a little bit of momentum across your shins, plant your hands. Make your way to tabletop, hands and knees. We'll start with a few cat-cows. So stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees, draw your lower belly in, then inhale for cow pose, drop your belly and lift your gaze, press the ground away. And exhale for cat round and curl, gaze between your legs or your navel. And 2 more, inhale for cow, just warming up the spine. Exhale for cat. Last one, inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Widen your knees to the width of your mat. Sink your hips back to your heels. Child's pose just for a few breaths right here. Curl your fingertips forward and sink your hips all the way back to your heels to feel the stretch along the back line of your body. When we carry tension in our lower back, sometimes it translates into the hips, so we need to stretch out this part of our body too. Inhale, return to tabletop. And exhale, high plank. Step your feet back. Warming up our core a little bit here. Press the ground away. Puff up the space between your shoulder blades. Press your heels straight back. Notice how that activates through your glutes and hamstrings. Stronger glutes equals stronger hips. Take a breath in. And exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes, zipper your legs together, chin or forehead to your mat. Inhale, baby cobra, bhujangasana, lift just your chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Maybe float your palms, engage through your back body. Press your toenails into your mat. Squeeze your inner thighs and glutes. Take a breath in. And exhale, lower down. 2 more as the flow. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Last one, inhale, baby cobra, strongest yet. Exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes under, inhale, high plank, press all the way up, maybe 1 movement. This time on your exhale, chaturanga, shift forward, bend your elbows at 90 degrees. Inhale, upward facing dog, tops of feet, palms of hands, shine your heart through the gateway of your arms. And exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. And this is our first time in downward facing dog, so take some time to get to know it. Pedal out through your feet, bend 1 knee, bend together. Wiggle your hips around, explore. Notice where that tension is. And bring your toes to touch behind you. Inhale, stretch your right leg high. Take a moment to pause here, maybe kick the lamp behind you. Flex through all 5 toes, press the ground away. You can take a breath in here. And exhale, bend your knees, stack your hips. Keep that equal weight through your palms and take giant circles in one direction. Take your time with these. These can be really, really slow and exaggerated. Now switch the direction of your circles. Inhale, 3-legged dog. And exhale, downward facing dog, big toes to touch. Inhale, send your left leg high, press the ground away. Send your belly towards your thigh, grip with your finger pads. Take another breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, stack your hips. Feel that juicy opening through your hip joint. And then take those big, giant circles in one direction. Doesn't matter which direction you start with, because we're going to do both. Take your time. Then switch direction in your circles. Let it feel good. Inhale, 3-legged dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Feet hips width distance apart this time. Inhale, lift to your hands. And exhale, take baby steps, 10 or more steps if you can, all the way up to your hands. So you feel a little bit in your hamstrings every time you walk forward. Use your low belly for the last few steps here. And then when you get there, find a nice big generous bend in your knees. Make a little bounce with your upper body. You can grab your opposite elbows or take some movement from side to side. Keeping that bend in your knees takes the tension out of your lower back and out of your hips. Then inhale, release your hands. Exhale, feet to touch. And slowly roll all the way up, one vertebra at a time. Let the crown of your head be the very, very, very last thing you rise. When you get to the top, take a big shoulder roll up. And then draw your shoulders down your back. One more like that. Inhale, big shoulder roll up. Exhale, shoulders down your back. We'll take one basic sun A before we get started with some more movement. So inhale, mountain pose. Sweep your arms up and overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Hinge at your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs. Squeeze your shoulder blades. And exhale, high to low plank. Chaturanga, plant your hands, step, or you can always hop back or skip it. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here once you get to your downward facing dog. And know that you can skip any chaturangas or get more creative with them if you want. Inhale, seat your hands. Exhale, step or take a little hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find that flat back. And exhale, low lunge. This time, step your left foot back and behind you. You can take a moment, wiggle in and out of your front knee, just creating a little bit of space in your hamstring. And then drop your back knee, untuck your toes, inhale, crescent moon, Anjaneyasana, sweep your arms up and overhead. You can gently press your hips forward to make a little bit of space. You can also walk your right foot forward a little bit to be mindful that your knee's stacked on top of your ankle. And you should feel a nice juicy opening through the front line of your left leg as well as through your right hip. Take a breath in. Exhale, half split, straighten-ish out through your front leg. You can spider tip your fingers or use blocks if you'd like. for a little bit of extra length underneath your fingertips. Use your inhales to lengthen your spine forward. Exhales to twist and fold over your right leg. Keep that going. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist and fold, driving your right heel down into the mat. Inhale, return to your crescent moon, one breath. Exhale, chaturanga, plant your hands, step back, maybe float your right leg. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, send your right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, hug it in, dome your upper back. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step all the way through. Think knee to nose as you step it through, land softly. Tense up on your fingertips. Inhale, supported warrior three or one-legged halfway lift. Create a T shape in your body. Find a little bit of up dog in your chest. Spiral your left hip down, breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, rise up. Exhale, fold right back down. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, low lunge, right leg steps back this time. And then take that time to wiggle in and out of your front knee. Creating that space. Settle in and then drop your right knee on top of your toes. Inhale, crescent moon, sweep your arms up and overhead. Gently press your hips forward without forcing anything. And then inch your left toes out in front of you so you can actually see them. Work your right hip forward, your left hip back. Feel that stretch in the front of your right thigh as well as through your left hip. Take another inhale. Exhale, half split, straighten out through your front leg as much as feels comfortable for you. See, I have a little bit of a bend in my front knee here because it's not comfortable to fully extend at this time yet. Flex through your left toes. Use your inhales to lengthen forward. Exhales to twist and fold over your left leg, keeping that nice flex, sending your hips down and back. Inhale, crescent moon. And exhale, chaturanga. Plant your hands, step back, maybe foot the left leg. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, leg high. And exhale, low lunge. Step all the way through, like before, then knee to nose. Tense up on your fingertips or hands to blocks. Inhale, supported warrior three or one-legged halfway lift. Spiral your right hip down. Find that slight up dog in your chest. Breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Now listen closely. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Malasana Yogi squat. Bring your feet to the short edges of your mat. Sink your hips down. Hands to heart center. This is where we start to get really, really juicy in our hip stretches. So drive through your heels, lift up through your chest. Always the option to sit up on a block just to elevate your hips a little bit more. And you can always lift your hips up to knee height if that feels a little bit better too and more supported. Keep your chest lifted. Stay for one breath in. And exhale, plant your hands, crow pose, Bakasana, or stay in your yogi squat. So for crow pose, plant your hands, bend your knees, bring them in towards your triceps, maybe one foot lifts. Maybe the other one comes to meet it. Gaze forward, stay for 3, 2, and one step or jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now taking that flow, one breath, one movement. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, left leg steps back. Drop your left knee, inhale, crescent moon. And exhale, half splits. Inhale, crescent moon. Curl your toes under. Exhale, chaturanga, high to low plank, your flow. to downward facing dog. That can be no chaturanga at all. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step through. Inhale, supported warrior 3 or one-legged halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right leg steps back, low lunge. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, half split, straighten out. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, chaturanga, your flow to down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, supported warrior 3. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, malasana yogi squat. 5 breaths here. Keep the chest lifted. Press the backs of your arms into your inner thighs to open up through your hips. Stay for 3, 2, and 1. Crow pose, bakasana, or stay in your yogi squat. 5 breaths in your crow pose if you're going there. Whew. Almost lost my balance. Stay for 3. Dome your upper back for 2. Vinyasa or skip it in 1. Make your way back to downward facing dog. And then we'll move into our main flow. So inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or jump forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold, big toes touch heels, just a sliver apart. Inhale, chair pose, sink your hips down, reach your arms up and breathe. Now the weight is back in your heels and out of your toes. Squeeze your inner thighs together. And activate your outer thighs by pressing through the knife edges of both feet. Hug your bottom ribs in, take a breath in. Exhale, airplane arms, sweep your arms down by your sides, palms face down, pinkies face in. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Imagine that you're looking out over a ledge just over your mat. Left leg lifts, inhale, one-legged mountain. Bring your left knee up to hip height. Now pause here. See your left toes out in front of you. And find like an equal effort and ease through your right leg. So you don't want to be dumping down into your right side. You want to be lifting up. Take a breath in. Exhale, standing figure 4. Cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Flex through your left toes. Keep your chest lifted. Stay here. You can always lower your forearms down towards your shin. Keep a soft bend in your right knee. And keep that slight lift through your chest. Flex your left toes. Inhale, one-legged mountain. And exhale, slow like honey crescent with airplane arms. Like I pushed the slow motion button on you there. Good. Hover your torso just a few inches over your front thigh. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Stamp down through your right heel to activate your right glute. Inhale, warrior 2. Spin open to face the side of the room. And then take a moment, wiggle in and out of your front knee. Create that little bit of space here. Once you get there, settle in. Squeeze your inner heels together. Press your right knee towards your right baby toe. Open up through your right hip this way. Release your shoulders from your ears. Your gaze is out over your right fingertips. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Right arm down, left arm up and overhead. Good. Notice how the further back I reach my chest, the more open my chest becomes. It's like you're leaning up against an imaginary wall here. Keep that squeeze of your inner thighs. Keep your shoulders stacked. Inhale, star pose, heels and toes out, stretch your arms up. Exhale, Skandasana to the back of your space. You can get nice and low right here. Flex through your right toes. This is a big stretch for your right hip here, as well as your left. Flex through your right toes. Keep your toes pointed straight up and your chest lifted. Good, now big movement here with the hips. We're gonna pivot to the back of your space. Inhale to low lunge at the back of your space. So it's just a little pivot. Now ground through your right palm. And exhale to side plank. Step your left foot on top of your right. Sweep your left arm up and overhead. Lift through your hips. Inhale, lift your left leg, your top leg, flex through your toes. And exhale, wild thing. Step your left toes behind you. Lift your hips up, lift your heart. Inhale, come back through high plank. And exhale, vinyasa or skip. Downward facing dog. So now we're facing the back of our space. Inhale, send your right leg high. And exhale, low lunge. Step all the way through one of my favorite stretches. Inhale, down dog lunge. Walk your hands to the inside of your right leg and just a little bit out. So you're kind of facing the corner, the left corner of your mat here. Stretch your fingertips forward. Press your hips back. So it's almost like you're in that down dog shape with your upper body, but you're still in a lunge with your lower body. Good, take a breath in. And exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Pivot yourself to the center of your mat. Toes point slightly in, heels point slightly out. So kind of 360 in our hips right now. Dive your chest forward. You can find a little bounce if you'd like. Keep a soft bend in your knees. You can grab for your heels or your big toes, or if an inversion is somewhere you'd like to go, you can absolutely go there right now. I just suggest that you don't do that in our flow. If you went elsewhere, come back to your wide-legged forward fold. Drive through your heels, inhale, star pose, reach all the way up. And exhale, find a nice deep squat. Hands to heart center. You can take a little rock from side to side. Then center yourself. Draw your knees towards your baby toes. Open up through your hips. Work to parallel your thighs to the ground. Inhale, back up through star. Exhale, warrior two, back to the front of your space. We're not staying here for long. Straighten out your front leg. Inhale, reverse triangle. Stretch up and back. Feel that stretch along the front line. And exhale, low lunge. Inhale, standing split. Send your right leg nice and high and pause. Dial your right hip down. Dive your chest over your left leg. Flex through your right toes. Take a breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your big toes to touch. Inhale, chair pose. Sink it back, arms up. You've been here before, so we're not going to set it up too much more. Just remember to draw your bottom ribs in, biceps by your ears. Take a breath in. Exhale, airplane arms. Sweep your arms down by your sides. Palms face down. Really engage through your back body. Then drive through your left heel. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Right knee lifts. Now pause to see your right toes out in front of you. Work your right hip down in alignment with your left. Hug your lower belly in. Take a breath in. Exhale, standing figure four. Cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Whew. Maybe lose your balance just a little bit. Keep that soft bend in your left knee. Chest lifted. Stay here, or you can bring your forearms down toward your shin for a little bit more juice in your hips. Inhale back up to one-legged mountain. And exhale, slow like honey crescent with airplane arms. Use control to step yourself back. Hover your torso over your front thigh. Use your lower core in order to do so. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep that gaze down and slightly forward. And press the back of your right knee up towards the ceiling to keep your glute and hamstring active. Inhale, warrior two, open up to the side, and then take a moment, wiggle in and out. We kind of pass through this pose on the other side, or on this side rather. So we're gonna set it up a little bit more this time. Press through the knife edge of your right foot, anchor it down into your mat. And then press through the big toe ball mound of your front foot, anchor that down into the mat as well. Then zip your lower core in, release your shoulders. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale, extended side angle, left arm down, right arm up and overhead. That little to no weight in your bottom arm. Just enough to rotate your right ribs back and left ribs forward. Keeping that nice deep bend in your left knee. Now inhale up to star pose, heels and toes out, reach your arms up. And exhale, Skandasana to the back of your space. You can stay on your front heel, or you can always come to your right toes here. I like to stay on my heels since we're pivoting. But flex through your left toes. Keep your chest lifted. Hands can come to heart center. They can also come down to your mat for more stability. Now pivot to the back of your space. Inhale, low lunge. A little bit of 360 work here. Ground through your left palm. Exhale, side plank. Step your right foot on top of your left. Rainbow your hips up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift your right leg, flex your right toes. And exhale, wild thing, step your foot behind you, lift up through your hips. Send your fingertips back. Inhale, high plank. And exhale, chaturanga or skip, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. And exhale, low lunge, step through. Back to my favorite stretch. Inhale, down dog lunge. Walk your fingertips to the corner of your mat. Stretch your chest backwards. So really press your right heel back and hug your right knee in. Left knee in, rather, towards the center. So finding that up dog, or that down dog, rather, in your upper body and your back leg, and then keeping that lunge in your front leg. Take a breath in. And exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Crawl yourself to the center of your mat. You can stay exactly as you are. Once again, you can take that inversion. Do like a little twist. Place one hand to the center of your mat and your opposite hand up. And then move through it on the other side. That's one of my favorites. Back to your wide-legged forward fold if you went elsewhere. Ground through your heels. Inhale, star pose, reach up. Heels and toes out. Exhale, deep squat. Hands to heart center. Take that little movement from side to side at first. And then settle in. Hug your lower belly in. Stack your shoulders on top of your hips. Drive knees towards baby toes as if you could touch them on the wall against you. Inhale, back up to star. Exhale, warrior two, front of your space, just passing through. Inhale, reverse triangle. Feel that side body stretch. Exhale, low lunge, hands come down to frame your front foot. Inhale, standing splits. Feel that nice hamstring stretch in our flow. This can always be a handstand up. Dive your chest over your right leg. Dial your left hip down. Take a breath in. Exhale, forward fold. We flow breath to movement. So inhale, chair pose. And exhale, airplane arms. Sweep your arms back. Left leg lifts. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, standing figure four. Stay for an extra breath here. Feel the juice. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, crescent airplane arms. Slowly tap it back. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, Skandasana, back of your space. Inhale, low lunge, pivot on your back foot. And exhale, side plank. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Inhale, lift your left leg. Whew. Exhale, wild thing, lift your hips. Inhale, high plank, foot back, over. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, down dog lunge. Press your hips back. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Drive through your heels. Inhale, star pose. Rise back up, heels and toes out. Exhale, deep squat. Sink low. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior two, front of your space. Inhale, reverse triangle. And exhale, low lunge. Inhale, standing splits or handstand up. Exhale, forward fold. Other side, inhale, chair pose. Exhale, airplane arms. Right leg lifts, inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, standing figure four, stay for that extra juice. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, crescent airplane arms. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, Skandasana, back of your space. Inhale, low lunge, back of your space. Pivot on your back foot. Ground your left palm. Exhale, side plank. Inhale, lift your top leg. Exhale, wild thing, lift your hips. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga, your journey to downward facing dog, one of our last ones of practice today. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, down dog lunge, hips back. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, star pose, rise up. Exhale, juicy squat. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, standing splits or hop. Exhale, forward fold. Separate your feet, hips width distance apart. And loop your peace fingers around your big toes for Padangusasana. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, fold forward, belly to thighs. Let your head and neck hang heavy. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. And then yes again, ending on that positive space. We have a tiny bit more standing work left to go. A little bit more work to do on our hips. Release your hands. Bring your feet to touch and slowly roll all the way to standing. Find Samasthiti at the top of your mat. Close your eyes. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale. Seal your lips, exhale. The left leg lifts, inhale, tree pose, Vrikshasana on the left. Place the sole of your left foot to your ankle, your shin, or your thigh. Just skip your knee here. Hands can come to heart center. Or you can extend your fingertips up towards the ceiling, just to bring your heart rate up a little bit. Now press your foot into your leg and your leg right back into your foot to open your knee up towards the side. Getting a little bit more of a hip stretch here. Take another breath in. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest for Utthita Hasta Padangusasana, or hand to big toe pose. Right hand to right hip. Loop your left peace fingers around your left big toe. This is a great place to stay right here. Often, this is honestly where I stay. You can stay here or extend your left toes towards the wall out in front of you. Or for that extra little bit of juice through your hips, you can extend your leg towards the side. Your right arm can come towards the right side. Gaze can come out over your right fingertips. Keep that equal press into your right heel to lift through your chest. Inhale, come back through center, one-legged mountain. And exhale, low lunge. Slowly step your foot back, tap your toes out at the same time. Now heel and toe your right foot out to the right. Coming into your runner's lunge or lizard pose, stay here or lower your back knee. You can stay on your palms or lower to your forearms. Or bringing your forearms to a block is a little bit more accessible. That's another great place to go as well. You can let your head and neck hang heavy here. Draw your right knee in towards the midline. We'll be here for several breaths. And if you like the quad stretch, just wait for a moment because we'll do that in just a second. Sometimes finding these longer holds after so much movement in a row can be just what we need. Now if you lower down, come back to your palms. Option to stay here, or for the quad stretch, you bend your back knee, that's your left knee. Swing your right arm back and around and grab for the top of your left foot. Whew, this can be really, really intense for especially those of us that have picked up running in the quarantine time. You can spin to the pinky toe side edge of your right foot for a little bit more juice through the right hip. Stay for at least 2 more breaths right here, just feeling that nice stretch through the front line of your back leg. And then you can gently release your back foot. Plant your hands, curl your back toes under, fire up your back leg. Take your breath in to look forward. And exhale, Malasana Yogi Squat. Step your right foot to meet your left. We've been here before. From your Malasana, this time you slowly lower all the way down to your boat pose. Sneaking a little bit of core in here, why not? Keep your chest lifted. Now stay here, or if your hamstring, or if your hip flexors are feeling okay, you can extend your toes up towards the ceiling, lifting through your chest. Stay for 3. High to low in 2. And 1, take an inhale. Exhale, low boat. Inhale for high. Exhale for low. 2 more. Inhale for high. Exhale for low. Last one, inhale high. Exhale low. Inhale for high, and exhale, just lower your feet down, widen your feet. So you may need to come to the long edge of your back here, just taking a nice wide forward fold. Inhale to lift up through your chest. Exhale to crawl yourself forward. Lead with your chest. So if that means you don't get your chest all the way down onto the mat, I definitely don't. That's what that means. You're keeping the integrity of the pose. Flex through your toes. And lead with your heart here. Keep your knees pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Maybe you keep a soft bend in your knees. You should feel a nice stretch through your inner thighs. And slowly rise on up. Pivot back to the front of your space, coming back into your boat pose for just a breath. And exhale, cross your shins, plant your hands, step back, move through your vinyasa, or you can skip it completely, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or float forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, Samasthiti, hands to heart center. I'm gonna face this way for this flow, since I can't really open my leg up to the wall here. Inhale, tree pose, Vrikshasana, send your right knee towards the right. Place the sole of your right foot to your ankle, your shin, or your thigh, just skipping your knee. Whew. Hands once again can stay at heart center, or you can reach them up overhead. Now think of really opening up through your right hip joint here by pressing your foot into your leg and your leg with just as much effort back into your foot. Take another inhale. Exhale, draw your knee to your chest for Utthita Padangusthasana on the right. Place your left hand to your left hip. Right peace fingers loop around the big toe of your right foot. Stay here. Or start to send your right leg out towards the wall in front of you, keeping your chest lifted, straightening out through your right knee. Stay here, or right leg comes out towards the right. Gaze can come out over your left shoulder. Your left hand can come towards the left side as well if you have the space in your house. Inhale, come back through center, one-legged mountain. Exhale, low lunge. Slowly step it all the way back. Then heel and toe your left foot towards the left for runner's lunge or lizard pose. Staying lifted or lowering to the right knee on your palms or on your forearms. And just staying in this stretch for a few breaths, even if you want to move. When you want to move and fidget is probably when you need the stretch the most. Breathe into the discomfort. Or if something feels really good, lean into that as well. Now if you're on your forearms, slowly prop yourself back up onto your palms. You can stay here, or for the quad stretch, bend your right knee, swim your left arm back and around, and grab for the top of your right foot. I didn't mention this on the other side, but this is also a great place for a strap if you want to take the quad stretch but can't quite reach. I have those days. Keep your chest open. And find your intensity here. So find that balance between effort and ease on this side. You can roll onto the pinky edge of your left foot for a little bit more juice through your left hip. And slowly release. Plant your hands down to the inside of your left foot. Inhale, lift your back knee, gaze forward. Exhale, Malasana, Yogi Squat. Last time that we're here, and we slowly lower down to boat pose. Chest lifted. Stay here or straighten out through your legs. Whew. Your hip flexors should be nice and warm by now. Stay here for 3. High to low in 2. And 1, inhale for high. And exhale for low. 3 more, inhale high. Exhale low, last 2, inhale high. Exhale low, last 1, inhale high. Exhale low, inhale high. And exhale, release. This time, keep your legs stretched out in front of you. Soft bend in your knees. Inhale, stretch your arms up nice and high. And exhale for a traditional seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Take your shins, ankles, or around the soles of your feet. A nice little bend in your knees is totally fine for this. Inhale, lift up through your chest. Exhale, send your nose towards your toes, chin towards your shin. 2 more, inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise back up to boat pose. And exhale, cross your shins, plant your hands. Final call for Vinyasa, if you want it. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. And exhale, half pigeon on the right knee to right wrist, right toes to left wrist. Walk your left toes back and behind you. Take a peek back at your left toes. Make sure they're directly behind you and your ankle isn't sticking out in any funny way. Then option to stay completely upright or place a block underneath your right hip, or you can fold yourself forward. Great option for forehead under a block, or forehead on a block as well. Keep a nice little flex through your right toes. Once again, if your mind or body wants to fidget, stay in the pose a few breaths longer, see what happens. This is one of those poses that you'll either hate or love. And if this is truly uncomfortable, take that figure 4 that we did at the beginning of practice. And if you lower down, come back to your palms, curl your toes under, fire up your back leg. Take a breath in. And exhale, downward facing dog. If there's any movement at all that feels good that you need to take here, take it. And then other side, inhale, left leg up. And exhale, half pigeon on the left. Left knee, left wrist, left toes to right wrist. Walk your right toes back and behind you. Take that peek back. Toes are behind you. Always the option to place that block underneath your left hip if you feel it kind of sinking down. Lift up through your chest on your inhale. Stay here or exhale. Fold yourself forward. Noticing once again if there's a little bit of a difference in your hips. Even after about 50 minutes of working through the hips, sometimes there can still be some differences, some imbalances. That's okay. Just breathe through it. Once again, if you lower down to your forearms, return to your palms, curl your back toes under, fire up your back leg. Take a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking any final movements you need in your dog. Then inhale up to your hands and exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Have a seat. We'll take Gomukhasana cow face pose before we're directly on our backs, or before all the way down on our backs. So always the option to take crisscross applesauce or sit up on a block for these as well. For our right side, right knee will cross over your left. So it makes kind of like a whale tail with your legs here. Flex through your toes. And we're not really working into the shoulders as much today, but if you want the Gomukhasana arms and the shoulder stretch, left arm, so opposite arm will come up. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Right arm will come out towards the right. Thumb base down. And then you can grab for your palms or your hands or your t-shirt, towel, bra strap, whatever you got back there. Then either stay lifted through your chest, or if you have the room in your hips, fold forward. This stretches out the outer hips and the IT band. Some other muscles that we need to feel nice and happy through our hips. Keep your knees nice and stacked. And like I mentioned, if this is uncomfortable in your hips, crisscross applesauce, a lot of similar stretches. If you have the arms, release the arms. In a previous video, I showed the headstand variation to come out of this. We're not doing that today, but feel free to do so. If you want to do the fancy variation, you come onto your toes and walk in a circle towards your right foot. So eventually landing with your left knee out in front. You can also always just uncross your legs and recross them if you're like, what the hell was that? It's just a yoga party trick. We've got plenty of those. I can make a whole video about that too. So find that nice center in your hips here with your feet on either side. If you want the arms, right arm up. Give yourself that pat on the back. Left thumb bases down. Grab for your palms, your t-shirt, bra strap, whatever you got. Stay lifted or fold forward if you have the space in your hips. And then just breathe into your outer hips, outer thighs, IT bands. Whatever is still feeling a little bit stuck. And if you have the arms gently released, you can take that fancy weight out. Just uncross your legs, stretch them out in front of you, and slowly come all the way down to your back. Soles of the feet pointing straight up, or soles of the feet on the mat, knees pointing straight up. We'll take one bridge and one wheel. So raise your fingertips to your heels. Feet should be hips width distance apart. Inhale, bridge pose, lift your hips. Send your chest towards your chin away from your chest. Option here is to snuggle your shoulder blades underneath your back body and clasp your hands as you press your shins forward. Stay for one more full round of breath. Squeeze your glutes. And exhale, slowly lower all the way down. From your feet as wide as your mat, knock your knees towards one another. Take broken bridge. You can let your knees fall from side to side to give your lower back a nice little massage. And great option to repeat your bridge. Or if your back is ready for wheel, place your feet once again underneath your knees. Place your hands by your ears, fingertips face your feet, squeeze your elbows in nice and close. Then inhale to lift your hips, wheel pose or Vinyasa. Send your belly button up towards the ceiling, press your chest backwards towards the wall behind you, knees straight forward. Squeeze your knees and thighs together to protect through your lower back. Stay for one more breath in. And exhale, slowly lower down, tuck your chin to your chest. When you come down, place your feet together, your knees out wide, Supta Konasana, same place that we started. One hand to your heart, one to your belly, or arms on by your sides. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel the difference between the Supta Baddha and the very first one you took today. Feel the difference in your mind, your body. Then take your hands to the outsides of your knees. Use them to draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze, counter stretch for your back bends. Then take happy baby by grabbing for the inner outer arches of your feet or the backs of your knees if it's more accessible. Take some movement side to side. Massage your lower back. And from here, keep your right knee hugged in. Extend your left leg long along your mat. Make space on the side of your body. Draw your knee past your ribcage. And then send it across for a nice, easy supine twist. Press both shoulders down. Gaze can come out over your right shoulder. You can close down your eyes. We're not doing a whole lot more after this. Feel the stretch through your lower back, opening through your spine. Draw your right knee back to center, give it another little squeeze. And switch it out to left knee in towards your chest, right leg nice and long on your mat. Draw your left knee past your rib cage, make that space, and then send it across. For that easy supine twist. Faces out over your left shoulder this time. Does not matter how far down your left knee goes. Just work to stack your hips. around both shoulders. Gently draw yourself back to center, left knee back in towards your chest, and then right knee in to meet it. Curl into one last small ball. Thank your amazing body for all of the work that you just put in. And then slowly release into your final resting posture, Shavasana. Let your arms lay out nice and long. If Supta Baddha Konasana, legs up the wall, or blocks underneath your knees feels better, those are also options. Just let yourself be still for these next couple of moments, and I'll let you know when it's time to move. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Lengthen your inhales and exhales. Let them travel all the way from the crown of your head down towards your toes. You're more than welcome to stay as you are. Start to bring some small movements back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. When you're truly ready, long body stretch. Send your fingers up and overhead. Point your toes out in front of you. And hug your knees in towards your chest, staying here or rolling to your side. Taking one final moment, pausing in gratitude for your own body, your own ability to practice. And then staying here slowly, however makes the most sense to you, come up into a comfortable seated position, keeping your eyes closed if they flutter open. Thank you so much for joining me in practice today, for sharing your wonderful, amazing practices with me and allowing me to share what I love with you. Take a big breath in, sweep your arms up and overhead, connect your palms to touch the top. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. The light in me honors and admires the light in all of you. Namaste. Thanks again. Once again, my name is Emma. I post 1 to 2 videos a week, usually a sculpt and a vinyasa. Let me know what you thought of this hip opening flow. Hopefully your hips feel a lot more open after this flow today. And let me know what other body focuses you would like to do as well. And as always, subscribe if you want to see more. Have a wonderful rest of your day.